Yeah. Hello.
Hey, everyone. Sorry for the little delay. Of course, there's all technology issues over here, but we got it figured out. Thank you so much for joining us today. This, I think, is one of my favorite ones to do, and we do this monthly. So today is our last Monday of every month, live AUA, which stands for Ask Us Anything. So if you've never joined us before, welcome. So this is a blank slate. You guys get to ask. You guys get to type in your questions. Please make these product and health related questions, health, wellness, the whole full circle. And we'll do our best to answer them on the spot. That way you can get your answers, but it really does help others because some people may not have the same questions. And then they realize that they had that question too, and they learn from you. So no question is a bad question. So please write them in.
Send them in, guys.
Yes. So I'm Lisa, and this is Dr. Ryan. Welcome to our AUA. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, follow our channel. It really helps us, but it also helps you. It helps you so you don't miss any of our live trainings, and it allows you to watch our previous ones, especially if you're just joining us and you realize we've been doing these for a very long time. So there's a lot of great information on there. So as I'm talking, please make sure you are writing in your questions. Ryan's going to kind of breeze through them, to look for any as we go. Sometimes these AUAs are short, sometimes they're long. Again, you guys dictate. I really didn't receive many via email. We have received, though, lots of questions on like a routine. And I think this comes with as we launch new products, and we've recently launched three. Three in the pretty close proximity to each other. So it does get confusing as you add these in and you're wondering, now what? Where does this fall into my supplement routine? And if you don't have a supplement routine, we really advise you getting on one because that's also how you stay consistent. If you just randomly decide, I forgot to take my supplements, doing it all throughout the day, week, you actually forget. And with supplements, these are daily supplements. They're designed to support our body with its daily needs. So you need to be consistent to actually reap the benefits. So that's very important. So there's a few things, and we do, if you haven't checked out our website, livegood.com, make sure you do. Each product has a learn more section. And under that learn more section, you have to keep scrolling because we do give a lot of information, but in there's always a how to use. And sometimes there's like a pro tip, things that are not necessary, but like we recommend. So make sure you utilize those. It will really help you formulate or form a routine for you. And now each person's routine can be a little different. So I'm just going to kind of highlight the specifics that we recommend. And the big one is magnesium, right? So magnesium should be taken in the later part of the day. Many like before bed. It does help with sleep. It does help relax the nervous system. So that's why the later afternoon before bed can help with that, sleep process. But with magnesium can also bind to other vitamins and minerals and medications. And with that ends up maybe decreasing their effectiveness, right? In a nutshell. So without having to get too scientific about it. So
and I think it's like really just a precautionary thing, right? It's just like advisory in a way, because like if we, we're not going to change the time that we eat our dark chocolate or some of the nuts that have magnesium in it, right?
Right.
Dietary wise, sure. You're not thinking like that. Sure. So don't obsess. And that'll be the bottom line of it today when we talk about spacing. Do not obsess over the proper spacing.
Right. But, try to take the magnesium separately if you can.
Yeah.
Recommendations on the multivitamins. Multivitamins have, especially ours, have the full B vitamin complex. B vitamins are known to give you lots of energy. So it's not like caffeine or anything like that, but they can stimulate you. So we always advise taking those in the earlier part of the day. And because multivitamins have a lot of vitamins and minerals in one, especially with the B vitamins, if you don't take them with food, you can get a little queasy.
Well, not really on the B's. Those are water soluble.
Which one? I mean, B vitamins make me queasy.
Okay. Yeah. There you go then. That's a personal thing, right? But the reason why we would say with food is fat solubility is better with food. So A, D, E, and K, even the some of the botanicals that are in there, fat soluble as well. So.
Yes. But if you've ever taken a lot of vitamins on an empty stomach, or maybe if you just had a little bit to eat, you know that feeling, right? You just get like that nausea, queasy feeling, and it passes. But to avoid that, take it with food. And also, like Ryan said, for our fat soluble vitamins that require fat to actually, absorb, much better to take with food. Okay, so I address the magnesium and the multivitamin, and I'm just covering like the basics. We always say these are your daily essentials. We have a daily essentials pack: your magnesium, your multivitamin, and your D. Your vitamin D should also be taken in the morning. Vitamin D is a fat soluble vitamin, so also best taken with food, but we advise taking it in the morning because it actually does play a role in your sleep wake cycle and melatonin production, right? So you want to take your vitamin D in the morning, right? So great idea is after you have breakfast or your first meal of the day, take your multivitamin and your D. Now, step before that, what we like taking on an empty stomach first thing in the morning. One of our newer launches, our probiotic gut support supplement, and as well as the Shilajit and sea moss. Those are great on an empty stomach. Now, does it have to be? Not 100%. Again, these are recommendations, but it is best on an empty stomach. So if you want to think about how to add that into your routine, you take that right first thing when you wake up. Then enters our newest detox, which get many questions on, how do I incorporate this? Because you're saying not to take it with everything. Again, you do the best you can, right? So if you're doing your detox servings, 1 in the morning and 1 at night, just try to separate them a little bit the best you can. So let's say you wanted to take the detox first thing in the morning, right when you wake up with your glass of water. So add it in, drink that water, and then, wait 20, 30 minutes if you can. But again, this is not like black and white. This is not a rule. So recommendations.
All right, let's go to the board here.
Sounds great.
So somebody said earlier about Senna. They wanted to see Senna or have Senna in our detox. So Senna-sides for bowel movements or stimulant laxatives. It's not something we're into. So that's not something that we will be doing. Creatine. There was a question here about creatine. Can you explain creatine? We can just tell you a little bit about creatine very briefly. Is that there's a whole Zoom on this, by the way, so you can go on our YouTube channel and check out the creatine HMB, and there's a lot of info. We go very much in depth on how much the body naturally produces, why is it important to replenish the stores of creatine as our bodies use it for fuel, and many, many other good reasons and attributes to the benefits of using creatine on the muscle, of course, but also for the brain, for men and for women. And of course, HMB for the recovery and all the benefits of HMB as well. So awesome product. Everybody should be taking it. Most studied product, I think, probably ever. I mean, it's up there. There's a lot of studies, many, many years of studies.
100% effective.
100% effective at improving the cellular hydration of the cell because it does pull water in, similar to the way osmosis works. So it does do that, which on a cellular level, that's what we're looking for. And it can increase our stamina and our output. So therefore, can help us improve our lean muscle mass, especially under tension.
Right. I still want to touch back on that detox one, but let me just say also with the creatine, guys, with many things, our natural production of creatine declines as we age. So we need to replenish that. But it's also, there's so many new studies and just a big push right now to help to let females understand the importance of this creatine, especially when you're entering that postmenopausal phase, when maintaining that muscle mass is very difficult. When we enter menopause, we just have a decline in muscle mass and it really declines our health. So really important to do that. But also you think about the brain health benefits like Ryan was talking about in menopause with the brain fog and just everything going on, the lack of hormones, it's a lot. And creatine has a lot of promising support there. So making sure you check that out.
So that was from Gary. Thanks, Gary.
I want to touch back on the Senna question with the detox. The question was, is there anything else in our detox like Senna? No, what you see in the detox is chlorophyll and zeolite. Another reason why I wouldn't use something like Senna is this detox is a daily supplement to support the body's natural detox processes. Give it a little bit of an oomph. It's not something that we want to go on this like detox diet and do something extreme and stimulate our bowel movements or, whatnot. That's not the goal. We've also talked about in our previous training, which we just did last week on detox. Yeah, last week. There's a lot of negative side effects to these strong detoxes that do physiological things that we don't really want. So
here's a question expanding on that.
I'm using the detox and noticing constipation. I had the same issue with the lean as well. With lean, you're acting directly on the gut. So That can happen as your body is getting used to it. That's why we also talk about drinking a lot of water because it's very high fiber content, right? But when it comes to the detox, I mean, it's not known to cause, constipation, but with that, if you're experiencing that, make sure you hydrate. Got to drink a lot of water to help flush the system.
Yeah, exactly. And it depends on your dosing too. Like, so the detox is up to 4 dropperfuls a day, but really you can start at 1. So if you're there at 4 or 3 or 2, dial it back to 1 and just do it before bed. And make sure you have that magnesium on board too before bed, so that it will have, especially, and you can increase your magnesium. You can go to 3 capsules before bed, and that may help that bowel system regulate. But look, if you're having trouble with these products onboarding, there's some already dysregulation there too, like something is imbalanced. So you want to make sure that we're adding in these things slowly, methodically. And like she said, hydration is really important, especially on the lean. We've talked about that in the Zooms there too. So, okay, awesome.
Something about, can you give the detox to pets? I mean, this is just like a recommendation, like when it comes to children, pets, anything like that, discuss that with the professional, so the veterinarian. I don't see why it wouldn't, because if they have exposure to environmental toxins just like we do, and maybe they're experiencing some, say, skin reaction or, could be, but best to talk to the vet.
Yeah, I mean, I can get back to you on that. I don't mind making a statement on it if I was up to speed on it. I'm not. So I will check into that. That's an easy one to research for you, though.
I'm going to just go ahead and jump on something. I just remember questions I get a lot. I get a lot of questions about iron. Our women's multivitamin is formulated with iron.
Thanks, Kelly.
So iron is, we all need iron, but sometimes postmenopausal women don't need it. This is not a black and white rule. Sometimes they don't need it because they're not losing that monthly blood, but it doesn't mean that they don't need it. This would be based on your blood work. But I get the question a lot, if a male needs iron, like people are asking, can we just have an iron supplement? If a male needs the iron, you can also swap over to the women's multivitamin. If a woman does not need the iron, they can take the men's multivitamin, okay? What you were just saying, there's a question?
No, I was just browsing through. I said hi to Kelly. She was giving us a nice compliment.
Yeah, so where'd that go?
What about this fasting one?
Oh, so this person is just saying, I was just talking about the magnesium. I was taking the magnesium in the morning, but it makes me sleepy. That's why we also recommend taking it later afternoon, night. It can cause sleepiness, right? That's why we like it for sleep. What if we are doing the 16-hour fast? So when to take the supplement? So like 16-8. I mean, again, this goes with the same thing. So when I say I try not to say take it with breakfast. I try to say take it with your first meal of the day. So I don't know what your 16-8 window is. A lot of times that's naturally a fast for Ryan, and maybe 14 to 16. But I usually eat my first meal of the day around 10. So that's when I take my fat soluble vitamins, right? So that's where I take the vitamin D and the multivitamin. I also take my factor 4 then. But prior to that, the things that we have won't break a fast. Of course, your protein powder will break a fast. The collagen has, calories that can break a fast. But other than that, the supplements you can take on empty, they're not going to break a fast.
What's up, Pia? An empty stomach considered okay with Livegood coffee? Yes, it is.
Yes. CBD oils. Don't know what the question is about CBD oils. International orders, guys, when they're ordered from our US warehouse, they can take anywhere from 3 to 4 weeks. Obviously, things out of our control might lengthen this, and it happens. Like we 100% don't have control over this. But if it's ordered from our Germany warehouse, which is our international wellness pack, there's a shorter transit time, probably about 2 weeks, 1 to 2 weeks. But it really just depends on your location.
Cool. You see this? Does a lean product have to lose fat around my middle?
Well, again, it's a body composition enhancement formula. So 2 major players in lean is it's designed to help you eat less by the fiber, the glucomannan expanding in your stomach, helping you feel full. So you're eating less for your meal. That's why we also say take it 30 to 60 minutes, prior to eating. But it also helps to, especially the berberine and the hops, it helps to balance blood sugar. And a lot of times these blood sugar spikes when we eat, that's what causes weight gain or contributes to it, right? So yes, it can, but again, there's no such thing as spot treating. Like if we could take a pill and say, take this off of here, like that'd be amazing, but no such thing. So your body is going to lose its fat how it loses its fat. Some of us store more fat in our hips. Some of us store more fat in our midsection, but then you also have to enter those fun hormones, right? Hormonal weight loss is difficult. If we have hormonal imbalances going on, females tend to store around our midsection. If we have high cortisol levels, we tend to store fat around our midsection. So you also have to work on that, right? So it's not just a one-time fix-all thing. Let's take lean and lose fat in our midsection, unfortunately. So you really have to do it all. Pay attention to it all.
The hard thing about that stomach area or that midsection area is that's a lot of times that visceral adipose tissue, they call it VAT, is the dangerous stuff. That's the stuff that crowds your organs. So if that's you, then definitely need to focus on developing that lean body mass for sure. All right. Pia said this is how she does hers. She adds the creatine in the coffee each morning. That's
nice.
Good. All right, cool. I love organic coffee. Yeah, Clifford, for sure. So do we.
Yeah, organic coffee is necessary. If you haven't jumped on board with our organic coffee, guys, the coffee bean is one of the dirtiest crops out there. Dirty by meaning it's heavily sprayed with pesticides, herbicides, fungicides, and this is really to help the growing process. It's difficult to grow. It's also grown in a shady, naturally it would be grown in a shady environment. So that's also breeds a lot of mold. So more important to just know your source, drink organic, but we've got that taken care of for you with our Livegood organic coffee. So check it out.
All right, I hesitate to click on this, but I'm going to do it.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Hey, Susan Ann, this is a question that's just almost impossible to answer because as a pharmacist and healthcare provider, really for anybody, that nobody should go on the record making any claims that you can treat, prevent, cure, or mitigate the disease process. Alzheimer's disease is a very scary metabolic disease that is set in place many, many years prior to it. And it's even hard to get an official diagnosis, obviously, but post-mortem they can do a lot to analyze the brain tissue, and it's scary. It really is frightening. But more and more studies and science have come out to support the things that we can do to avoid developing signs of early onset Alzheimer's or dementia. And there's a lot that can be done. So when it comes to methylene blue does have a number of different mechanisms of action that could play a role in the world of early stage or prior to making sure that we're holding off and pushing off the development of dementia, because it's a redox agent. It really fires up our mitochondria. And at the end of the day, mitochondria are the most important factors in our cellular health when it comes to neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. So we've really got to preserve that mitochondrial function. We have to preserve it by improving our lean muscle mass, by supplementing, by eting healthy, by exercising, all the different things we talk about all the time.
Inflammation down.
But if you type, and here's the last thing I'll say, if you type in like what are the benefits of methylene blue, you'll see some pretty outrageous claims on there related to Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, but you'll be able to kind of scrub through and see where that science is, what they're referring to, what they're talking about. I don't typically recommend just Googling things, but that's the best way for me to kind of push it off and say, see if you can find some stuff that piques your interest. If you'd like, I can send you studies. We do have a lot of actual clinical trials and studies that have been done utilizing methylene blue.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
I don't know if this is one you can answer without looking, into it more, but where'd I go?
Mm-hmm.
This touch screen is, okay. Oh, yeah, well, that's business.
All right, business stuff that you guys
not health and wellness.
I would scroll with your finger right down there you go.
So I had a question about epilepsy. That's what I was trying to show you. Is there anything like known 100% contraindicated for epilepsy that we have? That's something you can answer off the top of your head, or you need to go to your
stimulants. We don't use any real, we don't use any real thermogenics. We have some caffeine in our products and some different things, but that's very rarely a trigger. Honestly, I'd go back and say what we have that's good for epilepsy, of course, is the whole food-based ingredients and supplements we talk about. But CBD, they did approve, the FDA actually did approve a Charlotte's Web version of CBD, and there's Epidiolex, which is a brand name drug, big pharma drug that's CBD used for epilepsy.
And I believe vitamin D deficiency is
that's what I mean. It's magnesium, and you have a lot of contributing factors anytime you're missing important essential vitamins and minerals.
Is it okay to mix the powder supplements hot water, or does it remove some of the benefits? Now, we're not boiling, right? We're just maybe drinking, say if you want to have I'm assuming, say, Sally, you want to have it super reds as like a tea, which is actually really, really, really good. Just mix it in more, warm water, drinkable tea, cool enough to drink, drinkable to eat.
Sally, how's Scotland this time of year? But yeah,
I was like, yeah.
Hot water is totally fine. You're not going to deactivate or denature the peptides or protein at that temperature.
Right.
You'll be fine.
And the collagen, mixes well as a nice, like better. If you want to do like a tea.
Sure.
I do.
Let's knock out like maybe 3 or 4 more.
Okay. Okay, Ryan just touched on the methylene blue, brain health, learning. Remember, creatine, great for brain health, but there's also, magnesium, B vitamins. I use the protein powder, but not the creatine. Yes, Linda, they are very different. So a protein powder gives you like your protein source, right? Protein is a macronutrient. We need our macronutrients every day. We need our protein, our carbohydrates, and our fats. That has nothing to do with creatine. Creatine is our bodies make their own creatine, declines as we age. We need to supplement with it. It helps with muscle growth, stamina. It helps brain health. They're 2 completely different players in the game. They're also a great combination. So you can easily take your creatine and just drop it into your smoothie when you're making it. You will not taste it. What?
I didn't know if you wanted to.
No, I was just reading, trying to find one. Yeah, any more, guys, make sure you write in. But again, if you joined us late, make sure you check out our website, livegood.com. This is where you're going to see all of our products available to order, but you can also click on the Learn More sections of our products where you can learn more. I shouldn't say each product. Most products do have a training video. Dr. Ryan is working on updating all those, so there soon will be, 1 to 3 minute quick video that just highlights the points that you guys can watch, but you can also share with others, right? Because one of the biggest goals with Livegood is, to get our high quality, affordable products in the hands of everybody. So word of mouth, guys, sharing is huge. Yes. It's huge for us. And, it's nice to help others, especially when you're also helping them save money and you're helping their health. Win-win.
Here's a suggestion. I think we should do a video on this alone.
Sure.
I'm not sure if you're male or female, but fertility, there's many. I've read a lot about that. We had some difficulty with fertility early on, but from a supplement perspective, there's a lot that can be done that needs to be on board. You need to have supplements on board for sure, but check out Shilajit. The Shilajit and the sea moss that we just came out with actually has quite a few interesting studies on there as it relates to, on male side, the quality of the sperm, the antioxidants that can protect the sperm, as well as the beneficial effects on testosterone, luteinizing hormone, follicle stimulating hormone, and then in the female, also has some beneficial effects as well. So
sure. And also just on top of that, I wanted to add this as just a nice little touch, but also to touch on that, you also need to make sure you don't have nutrient deficiencies, which again, 99% of the US population does at least one, which one is really, nobody really just has one. But you want to make sure you prevent those nutrient deficiencies or eliminate them. You want to decrease the unwanted inflammation, and you want a high load of antioxidants, guys. This is your daily essentials pack, your factor 4, your super greens and super reds. This is fueling your body with what it needs, right? Your body has to have what it needs to function right for you. You want to make a baby. It's got to be working for you. So it's not just like, take this and everything will be great. You really need to take care of your body. Amy, very awesome. I've lost 56 pounds in 7 months by adding exercise and taking all the Livegood supplements for 13 months. Amazing job, Amy. Keep up the great work. Yeah. And then that's like, I want you guys to really like value what Amy is saying. She's been taking all the supplements and also adding in other lifestyle factors such as exercise. I'm sure Amy's eating great as well, but all of these in combination, again, your body's going to work for you, and you're not just going to lose 5 pounds. You're going to lose 56 pounds. Amazing job.
Yeah, and I'm sure, that's not every month was 8 pounds. You probably had some bigger months and some smaller months, but that's still pretty aggressive weight loss, but that's amazing. That's solid. You were doing a lot of good things and you're doing it right. Now you got to focus on that body composition. Make sure you're nailing that.
How do we know where, someone asked, how do you know where your order comes from if you're ordering from the UK? The only thing that is shipped from our Germany warehouse is the International Wellness Pack. And you can only see the International Wellness Pack on our website if you actually have an international IP address, because that is only available for international. Everything else will come from our US warehouse, everything. Okay. You live in Florida. Can you purchase supplements in person? No, unfortunately, we can't. I mean, look, I even have friends that say that, hey, I can just swim by and pick them up, you know, give me the money. I'm like, no, it's a system, guys. You order on the website, it goes straight to our warehouse, our packers start packing, get it shipped out next day. So it's a very regulated, efficient system. Should I take the Shilajit with the chlorophyll and zeolite detox? I mean, like we said, they can be, but I mean, if you can separate the detox like a little bit from it, right? Just make sure.
I would say the same thing. Properly. Yeah, I'd say the same thing. You know, I mean, but again, not a problem if you're just too busy and can't handle the separation and time and whatever. That's fine.
Melanie says she's trying to get her body to work in harmony, taking all the products. Should I back off on any to get things to work quickly? No, I wouldn't back off on anything. Again, it's fueling with your body with what you need. But in addition to supplementation, we have our 7 pillars of health. Supplementation is one of them.
Just one.
Right. So we have exercise, we have diet, nutrition, whatever, stress reduction, major players, sleep, hydration, socialization, right? These are actually big players in your body working for itself.
Nitric oxide boosters, guys, first of all, it's a gaseous molecule. It's mostly produced in the endothelium, so the inside of our blood vessels. It is responsible for dilating them, opening them up, increasing the blood flow, lowering pressure. The drugs work on this pathway. Viagra works on this pathway. There's a nitroglycerin for chest pain and angina that works on this pathway. Dietary nitrates found in foods works exactly on the same pathway. So you can use things like exactly our superreds, organic superreds. Not only does it have beetroot, which we know has high amounts of nitric oxide precursor dietary nitrate, but you also have hawthorn berry and pomegranate and grapeseed extract and all these different fruits and some of these things, and they have a very, very powerful effect on increasing nitric oxide.
Yeah, so that's our superreds, but also our essential aminos.
Things. Yeah, essential aminos have
L-arginine and citrulline. I mean, these are another key players.
That's a good one.
I love combining superreds and our essential aminos in the. I do it in the early afternoon just for a little.
That's true.
Natural boost.
That is very true. There's a lot of foods and things that have dietary nitrates, but superreds and aminos for sure are designed that way.
Lots of positive notes, guys. Things that have our supplements have really done to help you. Energy, weight loss. I mean, great stuff. We do talk about this often, Leisha. Which one of our supplements is best for better eye health? So we have lutein and zeaxanthin in our multivitamins for eye health and vision support.
And the carotenoid. So you have vitamin A as well.
Yes.
And antioxidants. Yeah. And the lutein and zeaxanthin in the multis is the pigments from the marigold flower, and they're found in the back of our retina. They absorb blue light.
Yeah.
So again, that light, that exposure, the indoor lighting, the whole thing, yes, we need to be doing that.
And I'll tell you guys, if you go, say you're shopping the supplement store or whatever at your grocery store, and you see something that says for eye health, read the ingredients. It's going to be lutein, zeaxanthin, vitamin A.
That's based on the AREDS and AREDS 2 study. So if you want to check that out, AREDS, AREDS, you can see where the studies support the use of those.
Yeah, we wanted to make sure it was just covered in our multivitamin because we all need eye health and vision support.
Hey, John, probiotics absolutely every day. I don't mind if you cycle on, cycle off, but if you're going to do that, you should always have fermented different foods. You should have kefir, some yogurt, some kimchi, sauerkraut. I know that's always weird. It's so easy to say, but if you don't like sauerkraut, you don't like sauerkraut.
Right.
But try it. Try finding different foods that have this, because you need a wide, just our gut support supplement alone isn't enough. There's thousands of different, bacterial strains. You need a wide range of different things, different fibers, right? Different prebiotics, things that feed the bacteria. But I love our gut support. Don't get me wrong. Every day.
Definitely.
Yeah, we haven't gotten one yet for Alicia for osteoporosis specifically, but bone density is an important goal of ours because my mom has had severe osteoporosis. Now she's basically osteopenic or neutral, and she just had a hip fracture playing pickleball. And it's the craziest thing in the world, but her surgeon said the bone tissue looked amazing. I can't even believe it. The reason why she was osteoporotic is because she was sedentary, and she was drinking alcohol and eating very, very poor food choices, didn't have any real good nutrition, didn't supplement, didn't really do any of the pillars of health. So her sleep was compromised, her stress was high, didn't really socialize a lot. These are the things. Then things happen, and we get her back on solid ground, and she's seriously, like, no joke, like reversing all of those deficiencies and issues, and her health is skyrocketing. She's doing so good. So when we look at it from bone density, we talk about nutrition, we talk about all the pillars of health. That just basically sums up how you should approach osteo or bone density, because we need it. We need bone density as we age, man. You can't fall, you can't fracture. You should be able to be pretty resilient even into your 80s and 90s and be able to. So muscle mass is so critical. Bone density comes right with that. Lifting weights, putting loads on.
Sure.
Go ahead.
And to answer the question, I mean, we don't have a calcium supplement, which you do need. We don't have one yet. But your vitamin D, your magnesium, your multivitamins for those B vitamins, your factor 4 for your omegas and keep the inflammation down, and then collagen. Oh, there was something. Where was it?
Scotland is getting chillier, but still beautiful. I'll bet you it's beautiful.
We're
Great time of year. Yeah, we're so
going
Sally,
there
we're heading to Scotland. We got invited to a special event. So we will not have a Monday Zoom in 2 weeks because we will be in Scotland.
Right. Oh, something had asked. I know where it was, right here. Okay. What supplements should you monitor if your sodium, potassium, blood work came back high? I literally religiously take all supplements daily. I mean, our hydration amplifier is the only one that has the potassium and sodium, but a lot of times this can be dehydration. So are you drinking a lot of fluids? It can alter the blood work if your blood work comes back high.
Our aminos also have that.
Oh, right. They have other small amounts.
Smaller amounts. Your kidney function should be analyzed too, because your body should maintain those in such a strict range. Homeostasis plays a huge role here.
So yeah, I think
acid-base balance. I mean, electrolytes, the body. So it may be a kidney thing if there's pre-diabetes or if you're anywhere in that overweight or obese range and your kidney function slightly compromised. This is where the numbers start to fall apart. And so I'm not making any assumptions to but take that into consiration.
Yeah,
if that is the case,
kidney function and hydration.
And if that is the case, we said in the past, but you're going to have to do some other work to get those numbers back in line.
Right. We do have a healthy energy drink, Kevin. That is our E3. If you have not tried it, it is so good. Such great, clean energy. Doesn't necessarily just have to be a pre-workout. This can be a energy for anything that you do. But so try E3. It's great.
Funny you asked this question. If you look up some of the research on zeolite, you'll see something about
lung health.
You will, yeah, about fluid balance and the lymphatic system and lung health and these different things. But NAC, so we don't have an NAC supplement yet, but another thing that could help with the extra fluid in the lungs could be N-acetylcarnitine. It's a precursor to glutathione. Okay.
N-acetylcholine.
Right.
Yeah. Sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring.
Oh, there's a couple. Sharing is caring. Sharing is caring, guys.
Yeah, guys,
for real.
You guys rock. All right. Well, look. Hey, Gina. How you doing? From New Jersey.
Ryan's hometown.
Yeah, my home.
What was that? I mean, Danny, just trying to figure out the question about niacin. We have niacin, a good amount in our B vitamin. I mean, in our multivitamin. Methylcobalamin, B12 in our multivitamin.
Well, hydroxo, we don't use hydroxo, but methylcobalamin, when it is metabolized or deactivated, it actually converts to hydroxocobalamin. So
that's why you want to help. You want
to.
But
methylcobalamin can be unstable. It can be a tough one to have instability. But it's a good question.
All right.
Cool. All right, guys. You guys all rock. Seriously, thank you. I wish we could keep going, but we've got to break off. It's a little after 12:30. So thank you all for joining.
Yep. Thank you for all your questions. We really love the support. If your question did not get answered, or if you have other questions, please email me, lisa@livegood.com. Again, make sure you follow, subscribe, like. We have lots of previous trainings. Don't want you to miss any future trainings. Other than that, thanks for joining us.
Bye, guys. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye now.